Hello, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys can hear me, we'll get ready to go. Hello, everybody. Let me know. Sounds like we are good to go, so we shall begin. Get your volume up and get ready to be awesome and learn a lot of amazing things. Patricia says, let's go here. What's up, Joe? So today we're going to talk about LinkedIn, probably the most vital thing you should have as a real estate agent. It all starts there, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that, but LinkedIn is vital. But before we get into that, make sure you follow me on Instagram. There's my Instagram page. You can follow me. Just look up Joe Juder, okay? And we will be great. And make sure, of course, you subscribe to this channel. So that's my Instagram, constantly posting new content and showing you how to grow your real estate business. Do you guys have sound? HP says no sound. You guys said you could hear me. We were all telling the truth, right? We could all hear me, right? Or is there no sound? Why did she say no sound? We could all hear me. Okay, good. So there's sound. All right, so today we're talking about LinkedIn. This is the most vital thing. I'm going to go through a bunch of reasons why it is essential you guys have LinkedIn. And for you guys who don't know, on this Agent School channel, we're going to be talking about things like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, sales techniques, staging techniques, all this kind of stuff to help you grow your business. Much of this stuff you could start if you haven't passed your exam yet. As I said in other webinars, the reason we're doing this is because we've done a lot of work to help people pass the exam, but then they were out of the business in the first year, and that's not okay. The goal is not to pass the exam. The goal is to have a successful real estate career. So follow us here. We're going to make that happen because it just didn't feel good in our heart to have you guys pass and then flounder, all right? That wasn't the whole purpose. So follow us on this channel, and we're going to make that happen. Okay, first thing about LinkedIn, you guys must know, it is the world's largest networking event. Think of when you guys go to networking events, all right? And you guys meet people. LinkedIn is think of it like an in-person meeting. When you think of social media, the idea is to get interaction with everybody. LinkedIn's the world's largest networking event. I'll even make it a little more specific. World's largest professional networking event. My spelling's terrible. Don't judge me. Still trying. Gonna get it. And got it. World's largest professional networking event. I can't emphasize enough. There's certain things as a real estate agent, if you don't have, it just looks bad. Okay? LinkedIn, a website, and a Facebook business page. If you guys don't have those three things, you just look like an amateur. I'm not saying you got to be great as those things, but they're kind of like resumes. So even if you don't use those things to get business and you're not using them to get clients, on a simple level, when people work with you, they're going to check that. And if you don't have just a nicely laid out one, it just looks really bad. So I want to be very clear, all right? You do not need to leverage these things to get business, but people will look you up to see if you have them. Think of it like a resume, okay? If you go for a job and they say, where's your resume? And you're like, yeah, I don't have one. It looks bad. It's some basic thing people look up to show a basic level of competency in online marketing. All right, and having an online presence, which most people want if they're going to sell your house with you. So please make sure you get these. If you're scared, I don't want to hear lame excuses like, I don't know, well, can I get business through that? I'm not talking about getting business through that. People are going to look you up to see if you have these things. Got it? Everybody write, got it. Right, got it. Say, I got it, Joe. I promise. I'll make sure I'll have those things. Okay, but today we're talking about LinkedIn. Okay, so why do we need to be on LinkedIn? Okay, so LinkedIn is very unique because people go to grow and learn. Other platforms, people are looking to escape or connect with family and friends. Okay? So people want to know on LinkedIn, who can I connect with that'll help me learn and grow? So when you guys use LinkedIn, this one is so important, you're not going on LinkedIn to look up puppies and things of that and beach photos. People only go there to do business. That's what it's there for, all right? So that's the number one reason you need to go there. It's a point of business and connections. All right, so the other reason you want to go on LinkedIn is for the reason I just said. So follow me on this, guys. I like to type as I talk. LinkedIn is there if you want to do business. Therefore, it is easier to promote things such as open houses and listings. Everybody got that? So if you want to promote things like open houses and listings, what are you competing with on LinkedIn? Okay, what are you competing with? You're competing with other people who are doing business. If you try and promote an open house or a listing on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, you're competing with other people who want to do business. You're also competing with the guy who has the cute puppy photo, the sexy couple on the beach, the person who got a new car, the person who went to a new restaurant and wants to show what they ate, the person who just had a baby and wants to show how cute their kid is. You're competing with all that. Does that make sense? So your information will get through the noise a lot sooner. That information, whether you want to talk about mortgage rates, networking events, a listing you're trying to promote, a new attribute to a service you're trying to provide as a real estate agent, things of that nature. Everybody got it? You need interaction. If I don't get interaction, I think I'm talking to the computer. If you guys ever done a webinar, you know what I mean. So the more I see you guys interact, the more passion and things I hear you say, the more I feel like I'm not talking to myself. Thanks, New Dimensions. You're the best. Thanks, Patricia. Yeah, Amanda, it's business-only connections. All right. The other reason you guys must have LinkedIn, I want you to do something right now. It does not cost anything, that's right. Search engine benefits. I would like you to Google my name right now, Joe Juder. Okay, Google my name, Joe Juder, right now. There it is, Joe Juder. That's my name. Okay? If you Google my name, what is going to come up first? All right? What do you guys think is going to come up first if you Google my name? So, what comes up first is my LinkedIn profile. Now, keep in mind, I am somebody who you met online. I am somebody who has a YouTube channel with 140,000 subscribers. In addition to the YouTube channel you're talking to me now, I have a Facebook group with 40,000 people. I have an Instagram account with almost 30,000 people. I have a very powerful online presence that I work on all the time. But even with all the work I put in, my LinkedIn profile comes up on top. And the point I'm trying to make is you cannot get away from this. All right, you guys understand what I'm saying? You cannot get away from it. All right, LinkedIn is going to come up. Carrie says on mine's prep agent, then LinkedIn, Instagram, but you get the idea, Carrie. LinkedIn's going to come up right up there. So my point is, when people look you up, they're going to see your LinkedIn profile, whether you like it or not. So you might as well make it beautiful, make it productive, make it professional, and make it great. So that can either be a negative for you if you don't take it seriously, or it could be a massive positive. So my point is, you can work all you want on your websites and your Instagram, your email marketing, and you should. I invite you to do that. But you got to realize, no matter what you do, it's not going to get over the LinkedIn page. Maybe Instagram might, maybe a YouTube video here and there might, but traditionally LinkedIn is the strongest search engine website. Okay. What if you already have a LinkedIn for another business? Do you create a new LinkedIn account? So that's a great question. Somebody asked. So you could create a LinkedIn business profile as well. And I don't know your business, so you have to decide what is best. But you could create a separate one. But traditionally, you want your personal profile to list everything you do. All those things are good things. List them in your history and about yourself and all that kind of good stuff. Because in your normal profile, your Facebook or Instagram, I'd say separate them. But LinkedIn's meant for business, so it's just business stuff. So don't be afraid to show that you do more than just real estate. But to answer your question, if you really want to separate them, you can create a LinkedIn business page in addition to your personal page. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. Okay, even though people are working remotely, they're craving having that social interaction among like-minded, ambitious people. LinkedIn has become more powerful than ever, so you can collaborate with others. All right, so a little tip on using LinkedIn. Okay, I guess I'm doing more talking than questions today. I apologize. So I hope you guys are with me. It's just a lot I want to get out about this. If you guys are trying to get business on LinkedIn, you are talking to other professionals. So when you want to get business and great connections, I'll create sales for you. Think collaboration. Think collaboration. Meaning idea exchanges with them, get their opinions from them, try and give them helpful information. Talk to them like equals, all right? Don't talk to them like they're people who know nothing. And I'll get more into that in a little bit. But you want to be on the same page with them, so you want to exchange business ideas. So if you're talking to like a dentist or a personal trainer, you could have a discussion about getting clients and what works best. That's how you're going to create the relationship with them. And then when they do want to sell their house, or one of their clients want to sell their house, they already are familiar with you. And you're saying to yourself, but does it look good for me if I'm always asking questions? Does it make me look like I don't know what I'm doing? The exact opposite, all right? You look more professional and more passionate about what you're doing if you're constantly trying to learn. All right, everybody got that? Okay, hopefully you guys got that. All right, do you guys agree? You look more professional if you show that you're constantly trying to learn. Frederic says, possible to create a second LinkedIn. I don't think so, not two personal ones. Just put that you're also working at Delta Airlines. Don't hide it. It's better than you think. I know you're saying it's not good, but there's ways you could do it. Okay, fixing my spelling there again. All right, everybody ready for an interesting fact? Everybody right? I'm ready for an interesting fact, Joe. Give me an interesting fact. Write that down. I'm ready for an interesting fact that's going to inspire you to pursue what I'm talking about here. LinkedIn has 700 million users. 4 out of 5 LinkedIn users drive business decisions. Sorry, I meant to write decisions. Okay. Of their company. Okay. 4 out of 5 LinkedIn users are making business decisions. And that includes you as real estate agents. They're making the business decisions. They're called key decision makers. All right. 700 million users, 4 out of 5 are the people who make decisions. Okay? Why is that important? Because it's not just quantity, it's the quality of the people. When you promote yourself on Instagram and Facebook, you're trying to filter through a lot of people that really aren't going to do anything for your business. They're not key decision makers. Let's just be honest, they don't all have money. They don't all have the ability to purchase a house or rent or do a deal, or they don't own a house. With LinkedIn, that's not always the case, but it's a lot more possible that you're targeting a group of people that are in a position to make decisions about buying homes, selling homes, buying income property, selling income property, or if none of that, they're able to give you constructive advice. Be humble, people. There's a lot more people on LinkedIn who could tell you, you know what, you're going about this the wrong way. Your sales should be like this. Your marketing should be like that. You should be working with this person. Have you met that person? They could really help your business get off the ground. So if nothing else, not for the direct sale, there's just a lot of quality people you can interact with that can help you do business. And that's what we're trying to do. And therefore, recommendations have more weight. Do we all agree that when we look up somebody online, all right, we try and find some online recommendations, reviews? I love the Facebook reviews. Why do I love the Facebook reviews? Because they're authentic. You can verify it with a profile, as opposed to these garbage reviews people just throw up on their website and you don't know where they come from, right? But how many of you guys here always look for reviews on people before you work for them? There's a lot of websites about that. You guys remember Yelp and all those kind of things. You look to see, all right, if somebody is reviewed. Well, based on what I just spoke about, if you're listening, the recommendations have more weight on LinkedIn. Okay? The recommendations have more weight on LinkedIn because they're coming from people who do business, professional people, people who work in the industry, people who have more knowledge above and beyond, he seems nice or she seems like a great person. Okay? The LinkedIn reviews are more quality. Okay? You trust them more. Think of it this way. When you have a conversation with somebody, okay, I want you guys to think about this if you can hear me. You trust people who are more articulate. When I tell you that, you know what, that person's smart, they're smart, you're like, okay, thank you for telling me they're smart. But if you hear the same person who doesn't say they're smart, but they say, you know what, that person really understands the technology we're talking about and they're really able to execute it in a clear way. You much more trust that second person's opinion, right? Even though they're saying the same thing, because the second person is more informed and articulate. I think that's a good example of what I'm trying to say. I hope you like it. But if somebody just says, I'm smart, they're really smart, they're great, love them, that's like a Facebook review. A LinkedIn review would be more like somebody saying, that person really understands the mechanics of this system and knows how to apply it, and they're really well about executing the technology. Okay? So that I want you to think in those terms. And also think about how you communicate with others. My dad always hated it if I said somebody was smart or dumb. He always thought that was a very lazy way of communicating. He always said, articulate your thoughts, you sound smarter, and people trust you more, no matter what it is. Okay, and the same applies here with social media. You guys ever hear that? People say, they're really smart, they're dumb. Some of you guys are like, oh, I say that all the time. You have to articulate, not that they're dumb, like, well, they're really not getting this because they didn't have the opportunity of the education about that kind of technology or that kind of sales practice. Right? You got to articulate things. And on LinkedIn, you're going to see that a lot more. How do you get the LinkedIn reviews? Same way you get any reviews. You ask for them. If you do good business with somebody or you have a positive interaction, if you do anything, you want them to write a review for you. Okay? Some of these things are so basic, right, everybody? It's like, when I think about it, it makes sense. Giving these one-word explanations of stuff just makes you sound stupid. I just said it. Am I guilty of what I just said? But when you articulate your thoughts, it only takes one sentence, you automatically sound like a smarter person or more trusted person. Okay. Do you guys like this style? I'm writing notes on the board. I know a lot of people like pictures and things, but I try and write notes on the board so you guys can see it and maybe write it down. I feel like if I put up a lot of pictures, there's not a lot you could jot down. I'm doing it this way, so as I'm talking, you could jot down what I'm saying. So if you guys like this, let me know. If you don't like it, send me a message through Instagram, and I can modify what I'm doing. New Dimension says, do I do this before my license? Yes, please. You guys should have a LinkedIn profile the moment you graduate high school, no matter what you're doing. What you say on that LinkedIn profile, you can modify, all right? You could say, my name is Joe Juder, real estate. I don't have to say I'm a real estate agent. I don't need to say I'm a real estate broker. I don't need to say licensed realtor. I could just say real estate, all right? You could want to do that. You could want to do that. Blah, blah, blah. That doesn't make sense. But honestly, guys, the moment you start working, whether it's 16, 18, 25, you should start a LinkedIn profile. You just have to modify what you say in accordance to your license status and what your goals are at that moment. But you want to keep networking. You could always change it. Okay. Soliciting people is annoying, but you gotta do it. You're in sales, right, everybody? You gotta try to get business. That's just the way it is. You don't want to be annoying, you don't want to be spammy, but you gotta do it. And LinkedIn, you have a little more room for error in that regard because of what I wrote on the board. People are there to do business. So therefore, they're not going to get as annoyed if you come to them with a business proposition. Where if you do that on Instagram, they're like, hey, I was here to look at puppies. Hey, there's that good-looking couple on the beach. I wanted to see it. And I wanted to say I was looking at the beach, but really I was looking at the good-looking couple. All right? People are doing that. On LinkedIn, they're only there to kind of do business. Has everybody got that? So the other benefit of LinkedIn, it's a little easier to approach them about an income property, about any type of real estate opportunity you want to present to them, or any type of collaboration you want to do. Am I right? I know you're not supposed to follow stuff that doesn't help you, but how many of you guys follow stuff that you know just like makes you dumber, that just isn't helping anything? I'm guilty of it. I follow all those Instagram vacation profiles because I fantasize and I look. And I totally follow the cute puppy Instagram profiles because it's just adorable. I can't resist. But in no way is that stuff helpful to me. But I am trying to minimize the habit. Okay, the other reason people like LinkedIn is nearly identical to Facebook in its functionality. So it's not a big leap. There are many people that are not on Facebook anymore that are now on LinkedIn. Okay? They only use LinkedIn. Anti-social media people have no problem with LinkedIn. You guys know that anti-social media people, you may be one of them, like, ugh, I don't like social media. It's so below me. It's just stupid people posting pictures of their dinner and what they ate for lunch. They're dumb and I'm elite and amazing, right? You guys know those people. They're very anti-social media. I think social media is like the evil to the world, where for me, I think it's just a tool. It could be used for good, it could be used for bad. You know, it's all how you use it, like much like anything. It's not the tool, it's the person using it and what they post and what you follow. Anyways, so those anti-social media people do not have a problem with LinkedIn because they don't see it as social media, even though it totally is. All right, it totally is. Okay? Amanda says, can we have a webinar on hashtags? You bet, Amanda. I'll absolutely have a webinar on hashtags. It's a great topic. In fact, I'm going to mention hashtags in 2 seconds just because you said that. All right, so my point is LinkedIn has an audience that you're not going to reach on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Pinterest, because you could get those anti-social media snobs on LinkedIn where you wouldn't be able to get them in the other platforms. Hopefully I'm presenting stuff to you guys that may be obvious, but maybe you didn't think of it. Now I'm telling you, you're like, man, I totally should have thought of that. That totally makes sense. And hopefully I'm selling you on using this platform because I think it would be really valuable to making sure you achieve my goal for you, which is thriving after 1 year in the business and hopefully beyond. Beverly, this is free on Agent School. There's nothing to do with Prep Agent. Said you're doing these webinars all year on Prep Agent. Beverly, totally free. Just log on to Agent School, the YouTube channel you're on now. All right? You don't have to have Prep Agent. Your friends don't need to. This is all free stuff. So as long as you subscribe to the Agent School channel, the one you're on now, you're going to participate. We're doing this because we want to help you guys. We want to see all of our students from Prep Agent succeed, not just pass the exam. So it's free because we love you guys, and I'm just not down with the idea of somebody passing and then that's it. That's just not what I got into this for. So that's why we're doing this. So just subscribe to this and it'll be free. You guys got to get me a Starbucks when you see me one day. All right? Deal? Everybody write deal. I want a soy latte con hielo. There's a soy latte con ice. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I know. It's not the most like manly drink in the world. Okay. So you can reach the anti-social media people. All right? Whole nother audience. let me get to that hashtag bit that, who mentioned that? I'm going to jump to that. I was going to do it a little bit later, but let's jump to that. Who asked that? Amanda Olson. When you use hashtags on LinkedIn, Bessie's Spanish not bad. Mi español es increíble, Bessie. Gracias. Okay. Lupita, de acuerdo? All right, so when you do a hashtag to describe, use the hashtag to describe the content, rather use the hashtag to describe your ideal audience, okay? So when you put a hashtag on your social media, if you guys don't know what a hashtag is, it looks like that. Many people do hashtag to describe what the post is or what they are. So for example, if you're a lender doing financing, they would put financing expert. That describes them. My hint on the hashtags, describe what people are looking for. Financing questions. You want them to find you for what they're looking for, okay? When you look for stuff, you're not necessarily looking for financing expert, you're looking for a financing question to be answered. Does that make sense? Amanda, I'll get more into that when I do hashtags, but that's just a little appetizer for you. Hopefully that gets you excited for the hashtag webinar we'll do, but that's just a little hint. Let me go back to what I was doing before. All right. LinkedIn, they have in their head to do business. So, Amanda, you excited? You see, I already started preparing that webinar, so that's just a little teaser for you. What's the word in movies? A preview. Okay, LinkedIn has the same functionality. Anti-social media people, you could get there. Example of a post idea on LinkedIn. Remember, you can apply this to other, but I really like this for LinkedIn because remember what I said before, collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. You want to work with these people. And remember that interaction is going to rise to the top. So here's an example of a post idea. You introduce a scenario, you give a brief description of the problem, and then you ask for guidance. Okay? Here's an example. I was working with a client for 6 months, and they purchased the property. I showed them with another agent. Have you had an issue with client loyalty? How did you overcome it? Okay, very simple post. You can elaborate a little more about your work with them. This scenario gives an engaging story if you elaborate more than what I just did. It demonstrates your work ethic, that you were working so hard and they didn't go with you, they stink. And it shows humility, that you want to learn, what I said before, and it promotes interaction with your peers, which remember I said in LinkedIn business, you're getting advice and guidance. If you just promote that you're awesome, it's not going to work that well on LinkedIn. You want to get people involved. All right? Everybody see what I'm getting at here? Does this sound like a good idea? So you introduce a scenario, tell the story, give a brief description, and then ask for some guidance. And in your description of the problem, obviously you want to make yourself look like the superstar. Okay? Then you ask for guidance. If you follow that theme, you will get a lot of interaction amongst high net worth professional people. High net worth professional people. That's what you want. There's a lot of successful people out there who enjoy sharing their knowledge. All right? I want to write that because that's important. There are a lot of successful people who enjoy sharing their knowledge. I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Everybody ready for the secret? Right, I'm ready for your secret, Joe. Write that down. I'm ready for your secret. Okay? Here's my secret. People have egos. People have egos. Okay? And if you're successful and you're famous, like you're a musician or you're an artist of some kind or, I don't know, a politician or a TV personality or, a superstar real estate agent, you don't need that validation. Your ego's already set because you get a lot of love and adulation all the time. But there's a lot of people out there who are tremendously successful, who are humble people, and every once in a while, it annoys them that nobody knows they're successful. but they're humble. They don't want to announce to the world, but it annoys them that they get treated as the same person that they were 20 years ago when they weren't successful at all. So the way they like, in a humble way, sharing their success is by helping you be successful. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. If that's how you're going to feed your ego, go for it. You know, if you're going to feed your ego by helping other people, that makes it feel good, rock out. People have egos. So when you ask for help, all right, it's like throwing out the line, to use a fishing analogy, to draw those highly successful people out from under the shadows, okay? I don't know. Do you guys like that tip? It's just something I think is very powerful. You should think of that there's a lot of very successful people out there who don't always love the fact, whether they admit it or not, that they are treated the same way that they were treated before they were successful, when they had nothing, when they weren't doing well. There's an ego to them that says, you know what, I'm like killing it now, and I have like multi-million-dollar business, I have multi-million-dollar properties, and I don't even get the smiley face on my Starbucks cup. What's up with that? You know? No, I'm not issuing my own personal vendetta against my Starbucks barista. But, you know, I got to talk to Lupe. She's got to put that heart there. I'm a regular customer. Okay, moving right along. So with that story format I spoke to you about before, when I said this here, the post idea, write this down. You got to think of every post like this. The what, the so what, and the now what. Every post you do on social media, think in these terms. The what, the so what, and the now what. If you could write a sentence for the what, so the what is the thing. The so what is, why does anybody care? Why does it matter? And the now what is the actionable item. All right? They call it the action word. Every post, or at least in the description, if the post an image you can't do it, you need this here. All right? Everybody got that? Do you like that? You could jot that down and look at it every time you do a post. The what, the so what, and the now what. All right? Diana says, me lift thee and thee lift me, and we both ascend together. Most of us enjoy helping other people understand. That's right, Diana. You know, there are successful people who like helping other successful people, and some of them are bald and wear a hat with glasses and do webinars. I don't know. Just saying. Throwing that out there. Okay, so the what, the so what, and the now what. All right? Amanda says, I love it. No one's ever described that way. Great, Amanda. Take it down. If it helps you, very happy about that. Okay. The one problem on LinkedIn, because it's a serious thing, people want to be afraid to smile. Don't be afraid of humor. You are not a robot. All right? So don't be afraid to have a little humor, but be appropriate, obviously. It is still a professional network, but you know, you don't want to just be like, today's mortgage rate's 1.35, homes average in the area, $500,000. Call me, 544-2655. Is that the 1980s robot voice? I feel like that doesn't count as a robot voice because robots don't sound like that anymore. You guys remember, like, in like the 80s when Rocky III came out and he hired the robot housekeeper and all robots had that like robot voice? Now robots sound like Siri. They sound like real people. Max Headroom. That's right. Okay, anti-social media people who are on LinkedIn actually like elements of it, they admit it or not. So that humor thing, that's why. All those anti-social media people I mentioned before, they actually end up using LinkedIn like social media. Those people who are such social media snobs end up liking that little humor you put in, end up commenting to you. If you had like a good quote they thought was funny, they're going to respond to you, right? And then you're going to say, oh, you know everything you hate about social media? Well, guess what? That's what you're doing right now. Okay? There you go. It's kind of like somebody who says, I have a friend like that said, I hate weddings. I don't want weddings. I don't like weddings. I'm like, well, what do you want when you get married? They're like, well, I don't want a wedding, But I want to have people who love me around. They should see I'm getting married. And since they're there, we should have something good to eat. And I guess since we're hanging out, I don't want anybody to go home after they eat. Maybe we'll get up and dance a little. I don't know. And maybe have a little religious element. Somebody just to kind of, add a little culture to it. And then you said, okay, you don't like weddings, but you want good food, good friends, dancing with a little religious overtone. You're like, that's a wedding. All right, that's what a wedding is. Same thing with these anti-social media people. They say how much they hate it, but they'll be the first one to interact to the funny one-liner you put on LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn stories, under 20 seconds. I'll get into that another time, but just to say to you, there is something on LinkedIn stories you guys should check out. There's snappy, bite-sized piece of content under 20 seconds. I don't get too much into that. But on that note, that's what I got for you guys today. Was that helpful? Hopefully that was helpful. All right, that's my presentation of why you should use LinkedIn. I hope you guys enjoy my presentation. Remember to follow me on Instagram. And of course, look for me on LinkedIn. How do you know how to find me on LinkedIn? Well, if you're listening to the webinar, you just type in my name and it's going to come up right on top of the search engines, right? I am active on LinkedIn. All right, I am absolutely. Just look for me there, and you can find me on LinkedIn as well. I do want to get more active on LinkedIn in an effort to take my own advice, practice what you preach. So I am going to try and be more active on that because, as I said, I'm talking about it. I'm going to be it, not just talk about it. So I'm going to step up and use LinkedIn a lot more. Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing day.